Before we start with the video, I do apologize if I sound really like bunged up and stuff. I've had my vaccine and it was fine, but I've been really getting a stuffed nose lately. Probably because of that. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go on with the actual video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. And welcome to a somewhat behind the scenes video of The Revenger's Shadow. So, I'm basically going to talk about the movie and some of its original plots and even a really alternative version of the film, which was the same plot but was reshot due to some things. So without further ado, let's get started. So you may have noticed throughout the movie that there was these slight cuts for James, and that's because his scenes were reshot towards the end of filming, as I recently printed out face masks for them. I'll put pictures up here right now. They were not made by me, they were made by Tom the YouTubing Tank Engine, whose name should sound familiar on this channel. So, yeah. Here's some of the footage without the face masks on. And I basically shot these scenes first, as I didn't think they were needed later on, but when I got the faces and I shot them, and if I'm being brutally honest, I am glad I did reshoot those scenes. Because my god, he stands out like a sore thumb. There's a scene when the engines are about to find Alex, and he just smiles throughout that scene, whereas if you look at the final version of the film, he's clearly angry. This is very big side comparison. Same with the funeral scene. He just smiles. He's like, I don't really care. And then in the final cut, he's actually sad along with Percy. Again, side by side for comparison. Pretty big difference. And I'm going to dive into a part of the film which you probably don't know about. This originally had another cut, but it contained copyrighted music. Because I thought, I thought copyright-free music sucked. Like this one right here. Ugh. But obviously, as Plushie Empires has proved, there can be some really cool copyright-free music. Take a listen. And that's it. And I deleted all the footage except for one, and that's the scene where George smashes into the mine. That's the only remaining footage of this original cut. But now we're going to talk into deleted characters and some side plots which were cut. Originally, the Diesel from the missing parts was going to have a role, but it was just going to be a sidekick and he'd probably just be laughing, so I cut him from the film. Another character I cut was Smokey, who was going to play a little bit of a bigger role. And it was basically just going to be a small fourth wall break, where I'm fully aware that it's the same model. And there is a version of this subplot in the film, but it's never drilled upon against one scene, and that's this scene. Finally done with this work, now I can finally go back to doing the stuff that I want to do. By stuff I mean to do, I mean... Hi, assistant. What are you talking about? Nobody's an assistant around here. Huh? Well, anyways, I can't sit here talking to you all day. I have this goods to deliver. Goodbye. Yes, it seems there are more than one diesels like that on the railway, which is just fantastic. Stop losing your temper. Let's go home. But George had probably the biggest 180 I had. Because he was originally going to be suspicious of Alex. Like, creeping up and, like, just going, like, that's not Alex. But I decided to make him as, like, little like others. But I added the subplot of him and Tom with the tunnel. And that scene is crucial to the story, but I didn't shoot that until much later on, until I completely rewrote that part of the film. And one part of the film which got completely rewritten was the Alfie subplot. He was originally supposed to join Alex to chase down Shadow. But that was cut from the film. In the end, he accompanies James and basically shows him a secret way in. And I figured that was a good choice because Alfie would know areas where others wouldn't. He would have shown Alex the secret exit if he was there, but Alex went around the long way. Shadow and the others went the other way, because you might see Shadow comes in from the left in one scene, while in most shots, most of the other characters come out of the right, i.e. like this shot where Alex is going in. So I figured that would be a key point, because why would Shadow go and the others go in that way when the others would go in the other way? So I figured that would just make sense. And also to give James some more limelight. Anyways, moving on to something else. Now I'm going to shift my focus more towards the production side. So this film took around 9 months to make, spanning from March 2021 to September 2021, when I officially uploaded it in October. Obviously, it premiered on the 15th, but I uploaded it on the 1st, if that makes any sense. And this was quite hard to make. I was going to say it. This was actually one of the hardest projects I've had to make. And it's also the longest I think I've ever spent on one single video. I've spent more time on this than, Plushy Empires and the whole of Hornby Adventures in general. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. But at the same time, I've been working on this while I've also been doing some other things, like Plushy Empires, engines, and other things in the way. So I'm basically making this project while recording those other things, and that's the main reason there's not a new engines part yet. Actually, there's 2 reasons. I'm taking a break from it because the animation is slowly draining my energy, and it was getting in the way of this project, so I had to put it on the sidelines. I've decided to scrap an engine's end altogether and probably reshoot it at a different time. As with Plushy Empires, yeah, I don't know if I'll continue that one, but this is not a general update video. This is a behind the scenes video. That's just the production side of it. Let's move on to more of it. This would be a time of something I would say, like, if you were in the premiere, you would know this. But I'm not going to say that here because literally nobody turned up to the premiere. Yes, I am still angry about that. But I'm going to save that for the update video, as I cannot be bothered to do it now. So the film was increased in runtime from literally half an hour, well, beyond half an hour, to the time it actually is now, 50 minutes. I'm glad I increased the film up to the runtime, but then I'm that guy who's, wants to be straight to the point. I'd rather have a project which is a few minutes long, but is straight to the point, rather than something which is 2 hours, but it's just full of filler. I'd rather be straight to the point, is what I'm trying to say. So I added some scenes which I still think are a bit filler, but they're not as bad as some films I've seen. Now let's move over to the models. What I said by models was I actually meant the sets that they ran on, the Lost World sets at least. They were quite problematic, actually. In fact, this shot you're seeing now was actually shot backwards because Rose had trouble going forward, so I just said, fuck it, push her backwards. And it worked, and I reversed that footage during production, and you have the finished shot. Alfie's model was a little bit problematic, as it only properly works in one direction. If I tried a shot where he was going backwards, he would just short circuit. So that's the only reason you see Alfie going forwards and not backwards. It's because his motor won't run backwards. And that's it for sets. The sets were literally just as simple as a pile of books. I will try and get myself something like a 3D printer, as a 3D printer will be more helpful rather than just using books. And now we're going to move over to the music and what I specifically used. Now, you're probably questioning, why are we looking at Plushie Empire's footage and not the Revenger's Shadow thing is? That is because a lot of the music is actually the same. I couldn't be bothered to go grab some of the new tracks, so I just took the Plushie Empire's ones. Naturally, I don't think Games with Space Style cares that much, because we're basically the same channel, and he probably doesn't care. And I'll just play a little clip for you from Plushie Empires and the Revenger's Shadow side by side, so you can see that they are the same.
What are you doing? Well, I don't know. I want more clones! Got it on, now! All of you, do it! What do you think I'll do at home? Good! My worker is done.
I wish they stopped sticking their asses in places where they don't belong. Well, that doesn't matter. What matters is that my revenge goes ahead without mess. It's not just the villain theme which is the same. Basically, most pieces of music are the same. This includes the hero theme. You're just asking for war, imposter. Come on, we're taking him down together. Us? What do you mean us? What? Miami, let me think. This isn't over, Snorlax. I'll be back. Just you wait. I will get revenge. I promise you that.
Sir? What is it?
And the battle theme used throughout the film.
You pathetic idiot. Do you really think your friend's gonna stop me? This is the end of the line for you.
He's back.
What the bottle come out?
Fire at those piggies! Left, right, and center!
But one theme that transferred over to Plushie Empires was the theme used at the end at Alex's funeral.
While I am sad for his death, I'm happy that I got to work with him. And that is what I will always remember with him.
Me too.
We'll miss you, Alex.
These bugs, it's unbreakable. I don't know what I can do now. Nobody will help me. I think I'll just have to accept defeat. I'll have to accept that I lost.
And that's about it in terms of the film. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. But there is one more thing I'd like to talk about, and that relates to Yoshi Productions. So, this was the first project I actually made this change. I didn't change it near the end of summer. I didn't change it at the beginning of summer. I didn't even change it during the winter. No, I changed it up front and now. By the way, that models thing was kind of a lie because I damaged the truck during production. Anyway, back on topic. This was when I first did it, and I basically created the first prototype of it, I'd say. By that, I mean the one with just my OC, nothing else. And that's this one coming up right now. So that was the original plan for this. But as I said in the update video, I scrapped it for the new one. This was the project where I changed it, and it's the project where I first use it.
Ironic.
Anyway, that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.